All right, House of Darkness stars Justin Long and Kate Bosworth, and it is about a man and a woman. They're coming back to the woman's house after meeting at a bar, and she has invited him into this remote location where she has this giant, like, freaking mansion of a house. He goes inside thinking they're going to have a good time, and when she gets him inside, they have a conversation, and that leads to some truths coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And the house is full of secrets.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work out so well for one of them. So that's the synopsis.
That is a synopsis.
Okay, I'll say this. This film kind of reminds me of a very old school, maybe like 50s film or something, where it is dialogue heavy. And it's just like one person talking to another person in a room, and there's like subtle stuff going on the outside edges, and you just like inject today's social commentary into like old school 50s conversational pieced films with horror elements around, and then the ending is a little bit more horror, but it reminded me of older films in that way. And overall I thought the film was fine. It's very predictable where it's gonna go, what's gonna happen. It's beat for beat. You're just like, okay, and then when this happens, you're like, all right, so that's gonna be this, and this is gonna be that. And we just watched The Invitation, which we just reviewed before this, and it has one element to it that is exactly the same, which we were both like, huh, it has to do with 3 of something. Yeah. And we were just like, wow, interesting.
Yeah, it was a very weird coincidence.
Very weird coincidence. And also, before I let Kaylee talk, there is one scene in this film we could maybe guess. I don't know, but I have no idea what it means, and it is a dream sequence. Yeah. And it is a big, long dream sequence fake out. And then you wonder after and for the rest of the film and when it ends what the hell that even meant. Yeah. And how it is even possible.
Yeah.
And my guess was the wine. That's all I'll say. What'd you think of the movie?
I mean, I think I'm with you. I thought it was fine. I really love Justin Long. And, Kate Bosworth, we recently watched The Immaculate Room with her in it, which was another horror movie that she was in. And it kind of sucks because I really wanted to be super into this movie. Sure. I was actually, really wanting to, love it. Sure. And I definitely don't. I think that her performance is fine. She's very ethereal and, just beautiful and mysterious. And I think she does a good job with her role, but it just wasn't like Pearl or, Rebecca Hall or anything. It just wasn't something
that's
that
not
blew
what it's
me
required
away.
from her, right?
It's not.
No.
And the same kind of goes for Justin Long. I thought his performance was fine. He did a good job, but it just wasn't anything that blew me away. And
it's almost identical to the character that he plays in Barbarian.
Yes, that was the other thing that I was going to say, which was kind of a shame for me because I feel like he's a very talented actor, and I wanted to see another, just another side. I wanted to see what else he could do with this. But I mean, I don't know. I guess the roles are just similar, and he said yes to both of them, so I get it. There's nothing really to that. I think he plays both well, but this film was a lot more underwhelming, and I don't know. I think that it was really trying to build suspense and atmosphere, and I didn't really get that from the movie. I was kind of just listening to the dialogue because it is extremely dialogue heavy. There is really not a lot that happens as far as action goes. Which normally would be fine, but I feel like in order for that to work, you do need those real, impressive and captivating performances. And I just didn't have that with this movie. I also am just kind of confused for like what the morality tale is behind the film, because a lot of things didn't quite line up to me. And I'm all about those kinds of morality films too. Like, I'm really for that message. But this one, I just was like, I feel like it's a stretch, you know?
100%.
And it took me out of the film several times. So, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Like, I just kind of didn't feel like there was anything super new or unique, or even, you know, an old style that was done, you know, immensely better. It just was, I don't know. I wasn't into it.
I'm going to mention something here that could be seen as spoilery, so if you don't want to hear any more, shut it off. It's not going to be full spoiler territory, but it'll be maybe seen that way-ish. So, you know, just move on. I don't really recommend the film either, but if you're a big Justin Long fan, you might like to watch it. If you just want to see kind of more of his barbarian character.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, so I'll say this. Another thing of note here. Really the entire film. Basically what you're trying to figure out throughout the entire film is whether or not Justin Long's character is a piece of shit or not. I mean, that's really the whole frickin' movie. And I don't find that answer to be very clear. And I think that's a failure on the film's behalf. And I think that that's why the film is unsuccessful and overall not a recommendation, because I think that message gets very mixed and jumbled, and I think that the film thinks that it has a clear message.
I agree.
And it's like, I don't think there's enough conviction here for what you're going for.
Yeah.
So you might need to rethink this script and make it a little bit more on the nose.
Yes.
Because there's a difference between being like a douchebag, if you want to call it that, and like somebody who, you know, deserves a horrible end. Yeah. Right? And I don't find it here. So, you know, it's just, that's that. As I said, it's not full spoilers. It's sort of spoilers, but it's just, that really is the film. And I just wanted to talk about that really quick. I'm sure anybody who's still here just saw the movie, so you don't really care. But yeah, I just don't see enough evidence for the ending we get. Yeah. And also, what's the dream sequence? The wine? That's it. It's the only thing I got.
I mean, my theory was that it was like a familial, like a bloodline thing. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but that was my theory. But
yeah, overall, not much of a recommendation. That's okay.
What we do recommend though is
to subscribe and to like
and to comment.
That's right.
And to check out the links to the Patreon and the TikTok account and the Letterboxd account.
That's right.
For him, not me.
See, and we saved this stuff for the end so we don't beat you over the head. If you're still here, you should like it. If you're still here, you should subscribe.
And comment.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. If you make it to the end of the video, then you should. If you want. Let us know.